If you've been looking for a powerful way to create personal change in your life and the lives of others, and you've been looking into neuro-linguistic programming, otherwise known as NLP, then the next few minutes will be very important to you. You see, NLP contains some powerful strategies for change, no doubt. And in about 2 minutes, I'm going to show you real footage of an NLP strategy being used to transform a person's life. You'll see minute to minute how it works. Now, what is NLP? It's a methodology that was developed in the 1970s by Richard Bandler and John Grinder for the purpose of changing people's limiting patterns. And while you may or may not have heard of the originators of the term, Bandler and Grinder, you may have heard of NLP's most well-known practitioner, who's someone who continues to command an influential role in the world stage. I'm talking about Tony Robbins. You see, NLP was a somewhat obscure practice when a young Tony Robbins published a best-selling book called Unlimited Power back in 1986. He had studied deeply with the founders of NLP, had mastered the strategies, and saw how some of these strategies could be used by ordinary people to create profound effects. His books Unlimited Power and Unleash the Power Within became blockbuster #1 bestsellers, and soon millions of people were talking about NLP and what it can do for you. But the question many people have is, what Tony Robbins is practicing now, and is that what we'd call NLP? Or is it what we'd call life coaching? Or is it something else? And if you want to be able to create deep, dramatic changes in yourself and others, is NLP the best tool to learn? The best way to answer this question actually is to see Tony doing some very masterful work. You'll see how within a few minutes, it's possible to turn someone's life completely around. This is Mark Pasha, CEO and co-founder of Robbins Bananas Training. And in the next few minutes, you're going to see how one woman was able to overcome tragedy and severe post-traumatic stress symptoms within a few minutes conversation with Tony Robbins. We're going to meet Mandy, whose daughter Cody was in a life-threatening accident. She had stepped into a go-kart in the family's backyard and crashed into a car. The accident was serious. She actually died before rescue workers brought her back to life. Fortunately, she recovered and she's now healthy, but her mother, Mandy, didn't recover. Mandy suffered from terrible panic attacks and emotional rages that caused her to give up her job as a nurse, nearly destroyed her marriage, and tore her family apart. Tony came to work with his family to repair the relationships and help Mandy to overcome this crippling emotional pattern. At the point where we're going to join them, where they had just gone through a series of strategic interventions with Mandy, her husband, Mandy's mother, and of course the children. The relationships are now repaired. Last piece of the puzzle is to help Mandy overcome the trauma itself. With Tony's help, she'll overcome her panic attacks, stabilize her family, and go back to work helping people as a nurse. She's going to visit the scene of the accident for the first time without having a panic attack. They're going to start by setting the intention for the coaching session. This is step 1, set the intention.
You have something you can give other people. And so we're going to go walk around here just real quick and just make sure it's all gone. You start to feel it, you just breathe, you wipe it out, and then we're just going to make sure no stimulus can stop you. Because how'd you like to be able to go back to work and have some fun or start your new mission in the direction of being able to help kids and adults and people like that? Are you up for that new mission?
Yes.
Okay, good. So here's what I want you to do now. All I want you to do is let's do a real quick process for you. I want you right now in your mind, really simply, I want you to feel this feeling.
Yeah.
Okay, feel it. What color is it?
Purple.
Okay, good. Feel the circle all around your body. Okay, now close your eyes. And as you do this, I want you very simply to say, I am now going to be free for a lifetime.
I am now going to be free for a lifetime.
And say it with a purple sound.
I'm going to be free for a lifetime.
I am now free for a lifetime.
I am now free for a lifetime.
That's it. Say it from a circle state.
I am now free for a lifetime.
That's it. Say it from your heart with the circle inside your heart and purple.
I am now free for a lifetime.
Yes, good.
Do you see how Tony's touching Mandy's shoulder? This is called anchoring. Tony's already done some work with Mandy where they associate safe, good emotions with this touch on her shoulder. They also associate these emotions with the color purple, with the shape of a circle, and with a certain emotional focus. By anchoring safe emotions to these things, they can trigger her to feel safe and strong. So this is step 2. Establish emotional safety, and it's an important part of the process. Tony presses Mandy's shoulder to remind her of these positive associations and to give her support as she sets the intention of being free for a lifetime. Now they're going to associate this freedom not just with herself, but with her ability to help others.
And this freedom gives me the ability to help who?
Everybody.
How does that feel?
Awesome.
So can you celebrate that by looking at the symbols that used to make you panic? Feel that in your body?
Yes.
Of course you can. So let's do this to make it even easier. I want you to open your eyes, close your eyes and feel this. Bring that feeling through every part of your body, from your toes to the top of your head, all the way down your arms, through your fingertips. And where would be the part of your body where you'd shoot it out the most? Your heart, your face, your eyes. Feel it coming from wherever it would come out most. Where does it come out most from you when you want to send it to something or someone?
My eyes.
Okay, good. So feel it coming from your eyes. Beautiful.
Yep.
Now close your eyes and feel that, and take it from your eyes throughout your whole body. And I want you to imagine feeling this feeling through your whole body, this purple feeling, this circle feeling. Imagine that you've gone into a theater. And when you go to the theater, I want you to feel yourself sitting down in a really cushy chair. Make it a really big screen. Let me know when you're sitting down and it's comfortable.
Okay.
And up on that screen, feeling this feeling in your body, I want you now to feel yourself, look up at the screen, and on the screen is a black and white still picture of the accident and all that stuff, but it's frozen. It's something in time, and there's some part of you that goes, that was the gift, holy cow. Say it. That was the gift, holy cow.
That was the gift. Holy cow.
Say it like a purple person.
That was the gift. Holy cow.
Say it with this tone of voice that the purple set makes. That's it. Say it. That's it. Say it again.
Holy gift. That was the gift. Holy cow.
Perfect.
Now Tony's taken Mandy to step 3, set up the visualization. Specifically, this is a sequence of steps for diminishing emotional trauma. One of the reasons Mandy's suffering is that when she thinks of the accident, she gets hijacked by powerful emotions of fear and loss, and she stops being able to function. Now, by imagining a theater where she's watching a black and white projection of a picture of the accident on a screen, that enables her to disassociate from the intensity of that emotion. Disassociation is a powerful tool we all use every day to detach ourselves from experiences that are overpowering and overwhelming. By getting more disassociated, she can then think clearly and decide what's most important. Mandy's emotions have been out of control. She's training herself now to be able to disassociate emotionally from the accident so she can have her composure and she can make intelligent decisions.
You're sitting in the chair. Now feel yourself lift out of your body. I know this sounds weird, like floating out, like your spirit is flowing out almost. You're floating out of your body. And then feel yourself now up in the projection room and look down and see your body sitting in the chair looking at the screen. So you float out of your body, you're back in the projection room, and you can look down and you see yourself sitting there. It feels so funny to see yourself sitting there down there.
Yeah, but I'm not crying.
No, you're not crying. And then see yourself from way back here in the projection room. Tell me when you're in the projection room.
Yes.
Do you see your body down there, sitting there watching?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then up on the screen, you see that black and white image of the accident.
Yeah.
So you're watching yourself, watch this. And now take this purple feeling, and here's what you're going to do. You're going to watch the whole thing happen, and you're going to watch it happen in black and white, but you're going to do it up here, not you. No. You start to go back in your body. Step back here with me in the projection booth. Tell me when you're in projection booth.
Okay.
Can you see your body down there watching?
Yes.
And as you're doing it, say a little prayer and thank God for freedom.
Okay.
And what does God say back?
Be free.
That's it.
One of the principles of strategic intervention is to understand what already persuades and motivates the person. Now, Mandy happens to be religious, so when it comes to big issues, Tony will use religious language with her. If she had been a non-believer, he would have used a different approach.
So now, take God's gift, feel yourself in the projection room. Are you sitting? Can you see yourself sitting down there?
Yes.
Keep watching yourself down there. Watch yourself, watch the screen. Keep watching yourself down there while on the screen, the whole thing plays out from beginning to end in black and white. And you just feel yourself back here feeling God's gifts, God's grace. Watch it all the way through and have it kind of go a little fast, almost like a crazy cartoon. You tell me when it's at the end and she's okay. Make sure you're watching yourself down there, watching. Make sure you see yourself in the chair down there, and then the screen's big up there in front of her. The whole thing's going from beginning to end, all the way to the end. Feel God's grace while it's happening. That's it. That's it. That's perfect.
Okay.
Good. And you just did what a horse did. You took that little breath that allows them to let the trauma out.
Many of us are slaves to a story. a disempowering story of something that happened to us or something we did in the past that we can no longer control. The story lives on in us, in our language, in the meanings we associate with it, and in the way we replay it in our mind's eye like a movie. Is there a story from your past that you keep replaying in your mind's eye? This is step 4, get control of your story. Now, this sounds more complicated than it actually is. You can get control over your story simply by replaying it in a deliberate way until your mind and body learn from practice that you're in control of the story. Tony's guiding Mandy to replay the story of the accident, the same story that's been torturing her, but now she's in control because she gets to replay it herself. She can modify the story so it plays back fast, like a cartoon. She can change the color, she can play it backwards, or she can change the soundtrack. Modifying and controlling the story like this puts Mandy in control. So instead of being terrorized by the story when it plays back out of control, she's now like a film director who decides how it will play back. So watch how Tony emphasizes Mandy's control over her story.
Run the whole thing backwards, but watch yourself down there and watch yourself. Look at yourself down there. You're not crying, are you?
No, I'm not
No.
crying.
Yeah, so feel your spirit up here in the booth with me, and now watch it backwards. The whole thing backwards, all the way to the front. And let me know when you're all the way back to the front, right before she even started getting inside the go-kart. And watch yourself down. Look how great you're doing. While it's happening, while you're still seeing it on the screen, whisper down to that younger you down there and say, it all worked out. Yell to her from upstairs, it all worked out. I'm proud of you. Watch her turn around and smile. That's it. Good. What does she yell back?
It's okay.
Yeah, good.
Notice that Tony's now editing the story. He's adding a conclusion. The conclusion is it all worked out. So when we replay a scary story in our heads, we tend to put ourselves in the middle of the story as if we didn't know how it would end. But the truth is that if it's something that happened in the past, we know how the story ended. For Mandy, her daughter got the help she needed, and now she's safe. So Tony's guiding Mandy to send herself that message that the story's actually over, that we know how it ended, and that it all came out great.
Now, as you're sitting up here in the booth, say, okay, now we're gonna do this back and forth like a record. We're gonna scratch it up so it never feels that way anymore. You know, if you took a record and you put a needle across it over and over and over again, a CD, pretty soon it never plays the same way. That's what we're gonna do. So make it in color, but make it go in hyperspeed now. And you're up the projector, you turn it on really fast, like, and watch yourself down there watching, and you start to think, how could you can even smile because somehow you know that this is all over. And then watch it backwards in hyperspeed, in color, make it in color, and feel all these great feelings. And then forward again, all the way from the very beginning. Just getting in the car, falling back off the back, smashing the back, the helmet coming off, him running, you running, mom, thinking you gave up, but you didn't give up because your mom was right there. You all did it together. She's okay, look at her smile. She gets to the hospital, the sirens going, you hear the sirens. Now do the whole thing backwards. Come back up, she comes back out, helmet comes back, comes back, moves backwards. Sirens, the ambulance going away, come back to the very beginning, saying, hey, maybe we should go on a go-kart. And now do it this time and do the whole thing. But as you're doing it, I want you to yell a few comments down to that younger you down there to let her know how proud you are of her, or to let her know this all happened for a purpose. Anything you want to yell to her while it's happening, go ahead and run the film again and run it in detail, in color, just like it was happening. And send her this feeling. And then say something to her. What do you want to say to her?
It's okay.
Yeah,
It's okay.
yeah. It's not only okay, it's what? What she doesn't know is it turned out to be a what? Tell her.
A gift.
Yeah. How much more does she get to love her man and herself? How much more?
Everything's better.
How much stronger is the whole family?
Everybody's stronger.
Tell her
Everybody's
what
better.
Cody is like today. Tell her. She got stuck back in time there and thought for a while that this is the end or it was horrible. What actually happened? How is Cody now?
Strong.
She's even stronger than if this happened. It never happened. People that have been protected and never gotten hurt, they live in fear. Somebody's broken legs, arms, been through hell, they don't have fear because they know they can deal with it. They're stronger.
Wow.
Just like you know you can deal with it. Now you can help someone because you've been through this. You never would have been able to help before.
Okay, help me. Let's go.
Okay, let's do it. Let's rock and roll.
It's only been 10 minutes since they started. Mandy's set her intention, established protective emotions for herself, visualized the theater scene, which gave her enough distance from her emotions that she can make a smart decision, and then she replayed and modified the story in her mind's eye. So instead of being stuck in the middle of the story, she can now control it and edit it and even give it a new ending. Since the story is over, she has emotional closure. She knows that everyone turned out stronger than they were before and that there's no need for panic and fear. This is step 5, test. Now that Mandy's trained herself in being able to create her own meanings, she's now going to test her abilities by walking over to the scene of the accident itself.
Now tell me something. You look at this cart and you think about how your life has changed for the better. Did good come from this even though it wasn't by design consciously? Is there a plan larger than yourself?
Now you can see how challenging it is for Mandy to see the go-kart. The place is so scary for her that she hasn't been able to walk here even though it's in her own backyard. Now with the help of these strategies, she can stand here and decide deliberately, consciously, what's most important to her. Tony can see she needs even more emotional support right now, so watch how he's going to help her.
Surround this thing with purple. Put yourself in a purple state and then send it through your eyes. And then put a big circle around it. And then make the sound. That's it. Do it again. Make the sound go over the whole thing. Surround it with that sound. That's it. Move around it, make the sound. Come on, make the sound around there 3 or 4 times. All right, go make the sound. That's it. That's it. That's it. Make it over on this side. Make sure you make the sound on this side. That's it. And what's the phrase?
Live smart.
Say it again.
Live smart.
Say it again.
Live smart.
Can you live smart?
Live smart.
Yeah. That's great.
Mandy used the anchors she associates with strong, safe emotions, purple, circle, the funny sound she makes, and the phrase live smart. Remember, Tony spent time with Mandy before this video started generating safe, supportive emotions that would protect her from having a harsh experience. When she comes to the accident site, they can draw on this protection for her. This is step 6, support. When someone wants to challenge themselves with a difficult thought or emotion or experience, you never do so without making sure the person is completely supported and safe. So notice, Tony's being careful. He's watching Mandy like a hawk to make sure that she doesn't have a bad experience. Now they're going to walk a few feet away to the actual site of the go-kart crash.
So is this the truck?
Yeah, she hit that
And
car.
What did this truck, what do we have to thank this truck for? What's the gift this truck provided? That whenever you look at this truck, you could have a whole new meaning in your life. What a purple
She
state.
didn't keep going.
That's right.
Did you hear that? This is a whole new meaning for Mandy. Previously, she associated this place with her daughter's accident. That's a disempowering meaning that sets her up as a victim of a tragedy. The truth is that the tragedy didn't happen. Her daughter is safe, and Mandy's able to free herself from the emotions that were trapping her before. But even more, the accident probably saved her from other dangers in her life. This is step 7, new meaning. When we overcome a painful emotional pattern, we make room for a new meaning. For instance, Mandy can now see that before the accident, her marriage was already in trouble. So now since the accident, she's given her marriage the attention and the strategies it needed. And now her family is happier and healthier as a result. That's the meaning she wants to have. And now thanks to this process, that's the meaning she can fully embrace on an emotional level.
All of you are going to live how?
Better.
Smarter, better,
Smarter.
happier, closer. There's something about it. You know, you never want it to happen again, and it won't because you're smarter.
Yes.
You learn the lessons.
Yes.
But thank God for the experience because it made you learn lessons that were way beyond this. This car was a form of transportation, but the transportation was to transport your life and your family's life to a new level.
Yes.
It's almost like a time machine now, where it jettisoned you guys out of a nightmare and back into the loving family that you deserve to have. It put a stop to the patterns that were going on back then. And when you can look at that now and give you that feeling, think how much you've grown. How big a growth is that for you?
This is huge because I haven't been able to come out here.
You haven't come out
I
here
haven't
since when?
wanted to come out here.
Yeah. Since when?
A
Since
couple
the-
days after the accident.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I tried to come out here a couple days after the accident, and I couldn't do it.
From now on, that accident has a new term for it. What do you want to call it? What was it really? It turned out to be that accident turned out to be a what for everyone? A what?
Alarm clock
Yeah. And a gift.
and a gift.
So from now on, when you go, ever since the gift,
Ever since the gift. I like that. Ever since the gift.
yeah, ever since that gift, ever since the day we got that gift.
Yep, ever since the gift.
By the way, if you can find the gifts in the most traumatic things in life, how free is your life?
No worries.
And if you can do that within yourself, you can get someone else there.
That's awesome.
And if you can get somebody else there, then there's no one you can't help.
That's awesome. So I can go back to helping people.
Can you?
Yes.
Of course you can.
That's
So
my
one-
breakthrough.
That's your breakthrough. You got it, honey.
That's my breakthrough. That's it.
I know.
I'm not so stuck in myself anymore. I can branch myself out again.
Thank you. You got it. 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 You got that's the ultimate one. To be depressed, we have to be selfish and focus on ourselves, and we all do it. Right? We have to live in our corner. We have to worry about ourselves and what we're not doing. Even when you said you weren't being a good mom, you were really worried about not your children as much as you were a little about yourself. Your kids too. But you are out of it now. You're out of the damn
Yes.
nightmare.
Yes.
You're back to who you are.
Yes.
You're the girl that knows how to make stuff happen.
Yes.
You know how to touch people, and you've always wanted to, and you always have. Right? So the thing that stopped you in the past was just old triggers and being so stuck in your head.
I think I knew I was so, I remember being able to influence and help people and everything.
Yeah.
And so I knew I kind of trapped me inside myself.
Yes.
Because I didn't want to influence with the bad.
Yeah.
And all these things that you were having me do and be around people and do all these things that I'm,
Yeah.
all these challenges and stuff. It was like I didn't want to because I didn't want to be, I didn't want to share that. I didn't want to share the bad.
Yeah. But the bad is the good.
Yes, it's a gift.
The hard way is...
Easier is not always better.
That's right. When you do the easy way, it's the hard way. When you do the hard way, long term, it's the easy way because you grow. So there was the greatest learning. It was a great gift. And now because you got a learning and it's in your body, not in your head, you can give it to somebody else. You can give it to lots of other people. So do you want to do that?
Yes, I do.
Good.
Did you see how powerful that change was? Mandy went from being helpless and disempowered in her feelings of fear and self-blame to being open and empowered, where she can choose the meanings in her life. Now just think, if you could learn these skills, you could create similar changes just like thousands of our students have done with the people around them. And in fact, many of our students go on to become successful coaches and turn this into a full-time career. So in our next video, we're going to see the actual blueprint that Tony followed to make this work, and how you can use that same method to start making a difference for those around you. In fact, we're going to show you which part of what you just saw Tony do is NLP and which parts are more than NLP, an expansion of his coaching strategy which enables him to accomplish so much more. Looking forward to seeing you in our next video.